the house. All right, welcome back to Bring the House Podcast. I am your host, Marshawn Fairley, along with the star, Darren T. DT, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you, my brother?
Another blessed Sunday, another day, another dollar.
Yes, sir.
But
Yes,
today
sir.
we're going to discuss a new segment we have here. Now, for this segment here, we go into a little bit of detail about players, their value, and also where we see them as a good fit. We call this our player value segment. We got a couple of players here we're going to go over today. The first player we'll go over today is Kirk Cousins. Then we'll go into Derrick Henry, Odell Beckham Jr., and then lastly we'll go into Tyler Boyd. Now, to start this segment off, let's go ahead and go into Kirk Cousins, Captain Kirk. You like that? Where do we
Yes,
see
sir.
him, DZ?
I like Kirk Cousins. I think that he has an opportunity to have one of those Matthew Stafford stories, or even what's the quarterback for the Broncos that became the general manager? Can't think of his
John
name.
Elway?
John Elway stories. Couldn't get it done, and then finally get it done. I don't think it'll be with Minnesota though, because Minnesota's kind of tired of him. But yeah, I think a fringe contender, if they signed him, I think he could really do some damage with them, assuming they have weapons already and they have a plan to get a good defense.
Definitely understood there, and I wish it would have worked out. And actually, as a Packer fan, I just like to beat up on them every year, so that was pretty fun. But it is what it is. I do like Captain Kirk, and I hope he does get it done in the next stage of his career. But
Let me ask you this question. I got the stats right here,
okay.
and I got a team in mind. Hey, keep in mind, Kirk Cousins was hurt part of the year,
Mm-hmm.
but in 8 games, he had a 69.5 completion percentage, 2,331 yards passing, 18 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. According to Spot Track, his market value is $39.3 million. If you were the Atlanta Falcons, with a moderate amount of cap space, they would have to make other moves to sign him.
Mm-hmm.
Would you write the check if you were the Atlanta Falcons?
It's a little tough. I'll probably go with about 30ish, 35, because their division is weak, so they do have a chance of winning their division. Now, whether they do anything in the playoffs, see, my thing with Kirk Cousins is not that he can't throw the ball well. It's not that he can't share the ball.
Yeah.
It's just him up and down, his inconsistency. Like, he'll have a game where he'll go off. Next game, he'll look like he can't throw a rock in the ocean. So I would just need consistency. But I go about 30, 32, 32.5. I'd say that's my final. Not 39. No.
I don't think I would do 39 either, but I think I would be definitely somewhere in the high 30s, definitely over 35. And I just think that I would be in that range because the Falcons are probably a good fit for him, and it's an opportunity for the Falcons to get creative and think a little bit outside the box in terms of, instead of drafting a quarterback, they can use that top pick. I think they have like the fourth pick. They can use that fourth pick on defense, right? Strengthen the defense. Give Kirk Cousins a running game with Bijan Robinson and the running back they had the year before that was 1,000-yard runner to begin with. They have a good running game already. They could pair that with a top draft pick on defense, and I think they'd be in a very good spot with Drake London and with your boy playing tight end. What's his name? Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
They'll be a good spot for me, I think. That's what I think.
I will say that if Kirk Cousins could bring the good out of anybody, it's out of the tight end like he did TJ. So, I would like to see him with Kyle Pitts. Hopefully Kyle Pitts could turn his career around, because right now...
Turn his career around? That's where we at?
Man, I may be thinking about fantasy wise. Nah, I'm thinking about regular wise. Man is bad. I ain't gonna lie. He not bad. I don't know what it is. You know what? That's another topic, another day. We gonna get
Yeah.
into that. But
So Derrick Henry.
yeah, Derek. So let's go. Derrick Henry next. King Henry. Um, did he have a 1,000 yard wide receiver? 1,000 yard run yard season last year?
Yeah, he's going to be 30 years old going into next year. He had 280 carries, 1,167 yards, 12 touchdowns, and he averaged about 4.2 yards per carry. And according to Spot Track, his market value is $10.3 million.
10.3. Ooh, for a 30-year-old.
30-year-old running back, and he barely had 1,000 yards this year in 17 games, which is longer than a season 5 years ago.
See, I would love to see Derrick Henry get a championship, and I would love to see him with the Bills, but we already went over this a little bit in our discussions.
Yeah,
The Bills ain't got no cap space. It's bad.
the Bills got less cap space than no cap space.
So,
bro.
so with
And
that being said, would I pay him 10? No. 30? No. I will give him. See, he better than vet minimum, but he not $10 million a year.
What did what did Dalvin Cook get?
Ooh, Dalvin Cook. Let's see here.
Hold on, I'm finna look it up. Let's see.
I got a contract. Dalvin Cook got with the Ravens or the
with the Jets.
With the Jets. Okay. Jets. He got seven mil 1 year. So it was 5.8 guaranteed, and the rest was incentives.
Yeah, he got about 7 mil. Oof.
I give him that. I give King Henry that. I may even give him 8 mil. This is gonna be incentives. It's gonna be the 5.8 guarantee, but I may give him about 8 mil. 10 is kind of crazy though. That's I wouldn't pay a lot of running back 10 mil unless they like a receiving back.
I just think about his running style and his it's one thing for a running back over 30, but I think that his combined with his running style and size, it's just hard for a big man to keep that up. And me, I think I would wait him out because I don't think anybody. I ain't gonna say I don't think anybody's gonna pay him 10 million. Somebody will because he's definitely a good enough back. Like he's a good enough back today to get paid 10 million. But I don't. But there's a huge amount of risk and red flags blinking at him as a running back, just in terms of his running style and age, to where I don't want to be the person that takes the risk of the 10 million.
Okay. Yeah, 10.
10 is
a tough buy. I would either do like I do the Dalvin Cook approach. Between 7 and 8 mil. A lot of it in incentives, and a lot of them will be health-based incentives too. Like, can you last this whole season? Can I get a playoff game out of you? Can I get a 100-yard playoff game out of you? Stuff like that. Instead of just meet 1,000 yards, you get it. Like, I'll throw that in there, but for the most part, it'll be play 60% of your snaps, stuff like that.
I'll give him $1 million if he hit 900 yards on the season. Like if I start him out at like 7.2, and then give him $1 million if he hit 900 yards. I think that would be workable for how I think about it, because that would hedge my bets, and I do think that he'll get that, but it'll hedge against the risk that he doesn't, for injury or for a different offensive line, different scheme, whatever. So I think we agree right at where the numbers should be.
Oh yeah. So yeah, King Henry. certified. I give him a yeah. I give him. I give him. I wouldn't give him 10 mil, but I give him. I give him some good money. I
Some
give him
good
some
money. Definitely more than what Zeke was making.
Zeke just ain't got no legs, man. That's sad. Sad story. Sad story.
He's still averaging good. Like he still has 4.2 yards per carry. So, and he getting 12 to he did one thing I didn't mention is that he did like lead the league in carries. So, you know,
Workhorse.
yeah, you
But
know how
can he
that goes.
keep that up at 30? Like,
Yeah, yeah. And then the next player we had on our list was the world famous Odell Beckham Jr.
OBJ, man. Man, this gonna be a hard conversation. Cause growing up, man, Odell was that guy. Odell was that guy. I had so much faith for him on the Browns. And then he got that Browns curse. He really got the Baker curse. Baker money. TD Baker, that's my boy. Talking mess, you and your father. But he got his shit, so it is what it is. But yeah, Odell. Odell is getting Odell.
All right, Odell. In 14 games, he had 35 receptions for 565 yards and 3 touchdowns. And according to Spot Track, his market value is $11.9 million.
Who is comparables?
His comparables, let's see, his comparables were like Hunter Renfro, uh,
Jacoby Myers, right? Was one of them.
yeah, Jacoby Myers, and hold on, it's gonna take maybe 2 seconds. Let's see, Odell.
I would like to take a moment.
I got it. It's Tim Patrick, Allen Robinson, Hunter Renfro, and Jacoby Myers.
Man, I would like to take a moment for us to have a silence for this man's fall from grace, where this man Odell Beckham Jr. is being compared to Hunter Renfro, and
the stats are the stats.
But for 11 mil, what you doing? I know my answer. What you doing?
Okay, I mean, are you going to give this list 11 million?
No.
Like Tim Patrick, Allen Robinson, Hunter Renfro, and Jacoby Myers. Are you going to give that list 10 million?
No.
I mean, for Odell, I don't want to get disrespectful and say that I would give him a mil for every 100 yards he gets. But so that would put us at 6.7 million. But I mean, dog, like I could get my thing with that is that you can get anybody to do what he did. You can't like in terms of the statistics on the field, you can get anybody to do that. Any NFL caliber wide receiver. And so at that point, you're like 70% of that 11.9 million, you're paying for name. You're not paying for on-field production.
Exactly.
And so, like from that perspective, yeah, like it has to be sub 8 and Wave of really sub 7 for me. Like in the 5 to 7 range is where I'm at. Because remember he had a hard time even getting the contract he got with the Ravens in terms of the number that he wanted.
Yeah.
And then the Ravens didn't get no value out of him. So now when he goes out there again this year, who's going to be willing to give him a 10?
Yeah. I'm on and how old is he? He 30? He 31?
Yeah, he will be 31. Yeah.
31. Yeah, sub 7 for sure. Sub 7 for sure. 1 year. I give him about a 2-year contract. About 5. Really, I guarantee about 2.5 and the rest incentives. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like you said, it's not you paying for name. He not getting double teamed. He not a number one. Like he gonna hype your quarterback up. And then who would you see him with?
What you mean?
Like what team?
Like quarterback wise?
What team?
What team? Um, he really can't be. I'm not gonna say can't. I would if I was in his camp. I wouldn't recommend that he goes to a pass heavy team because
Mm-hmm.
then that would increase his usage and make him more susceptible to injury.
Yeah.
So I think like a team like the Baltimore Ravens, where he already is, where they're more their style is more of a running style.
Yeah.
I think that's better for them, better for him to go to a team where he's kind of used sparingly to make big plays type of deal, as opposed to high volume, because high volume will lead to high injury risk. I think for him and his injury history and where he's at.
Yeah.
So that list would include the Baltimore Ravens, uh, the Atlanta Falcons. Just they don't need more mouths, but they have a lot of cap space. So that would be one. Um, the Colts, maybe.
Maybe the coach. Yeah.
The Texans. That'll be a more of a pass centric team, but they don't have that would be a good place for him.
Yeah.
They ultimately they need a slew of receivers in Houston. No disrespect to
Nico.
Nico Collins, he
Tank.
did a great job. Tank Dell, I think they need one and a half more receivers, one and a half more names. Like
Yeah.
if they could leave this offseason cycle with two more receivers, I think they'd be in the Super Bowl contention.
And I just now seen he had 1 year, 15 mil with the Ravens.
Yeah. Who's paying that, dog? Like who's paying that going into this year? No disrespect, but who is paying that, bro? Bro, like how many years removed is he from 1,000 yard season? What's the last time he had 1,000 yard season?
Let's see. Odell, career, stats. Let's see. This man here. Damn. Uh, 2019.
Bro, when's the last time he had? When's the last time he had a 800 yard season?
2019.
Oh my god, bro! No, bro! No, bro! No! 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 If you sign that man for anything over 8 million, you will sign a name and you will sign the NIL contract.
Hey
Name, image, and
man. Hey,
likeness.
shout out to Odell for the finessing of all these teams. Cause ain't no way, bro. Look, 2020 he had 319 yards. 2021 232 yards. 2021 305 yards. His best season was this year with 565 yards.
He more than doubled what he had originally. Oh.
That's
I ain't gonna
blasphemous.
be able to do it.
As Steve Nash say, that is blasphemy. That's crazy. But shout out to Odell. Get your money. The Packers better not even look at his name. They better just burn the page if you see his name pop up, because it ain't happening. But for the last player we're looking into is Tyler Boyd. Now I'm high on this kid. I'm high. I call him kid like he ain't older than me, but I'm high on this man. This man is. Yeah, I'm high. I'm high on this man. So let's get into the DT. What's his grades and comparables and stats?
So he's 29 years old. He had 67 receptions for 677 yards. And let me see. And according to Spot Track, his market value is 8.7 million, which I think is, I ain't gonna say it's cheap, but that's reasonable. And
that's a steal, low key.
What you think about that?
That's a steal, low key. That's a steal. Man, Odell getting 15 mil. That is a steal. That is a steal. He's younger. He's not a number one. He's not a number one. I'll say that. But he's definitely he can be a number 2, number 3. So for 8, I'm giving him that. I may even give him a little more. We signed the players with player options.
No, we don't do player options here. No, we want the control.
What?
And so his comparables was Alan Lazard. Oh my God, nobody's gonna like this next name. Marquez Valdez Scantling, Adam Thielen, and Robert Woods.
Thielen, I like that.
I think he's
MVS,
he's a better option than all these guys on this list.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
Undoubtedly.
what you would you first of all would you give him his value, or what would you give him?
I would give him 8.7. Because I think he's better than the 677 yards that he got in
Mm-hmm.
terms of being on the team with he didn't have his quarterback for a third of the season, let's call it. B, he's on a team with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So those are like two 1A. Well, clearly Jamar Chase is the alpha of the
Alpha,
group,
definitely.
but T. Higgins has one trait. And so, um, yeah, I think if he was on a team where there was a bona fide one, him, and then really nobody else, but like role players, I think he would have more than 677 yards. I think there's value there to be had.
Texans, Texans, Colts. I think him with Pittman and the new quarterback. What's the quarterback name? One who just hurt himself.
Richardson,
Yeah,
Anthony.
Richardson. Yeah, I think he'll be good on that team. Um,
Mhm.
I give him that. I may even give him about 9. Put some incentives in there. Get it up to 11. And I go 3 years, 4 year contract.
Yeah, yeah, I would do because he's 29.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably do 3 years with a get out after two.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And that should be team option. Okay. No, I definitely see that. I definitely see that. And man, is there uh is there any other players you like to discuss in this segment?
Um.
Honorable mention is Buda Baker, but it's hard to find your
Yeah.
stats, buddy. I'm sorry. It's hard to find your
Oh,
stats.
don't do that. Don't do that.
Um,
Don't do that.
love
NFL
you.
don't like defense. So
NFL don't like defense. Love you, Buda. You a real one.
but let's just for giggles,
Mhm.
let's just look up his market value real quick
Okay.
because I do like Buda Baker because he's a productive when healthy he's a productive player and he gets picks.
Yeah.
He
He's a
gets
ball
a
hawk.
good
He's a ball hawk.
pick, ball
That man can
hawk, and
play.
so I think that's valuable. Um, let me see. It don't tell you his market value on Spot Track, but he is a free agent. His
La-
base salary this past season was 14 million. I'm not paying him that. Um,
Last year he got it says according to Google, 87 combined tackles, 29 assisted, no interceptions, no sacks. Ooh.
he's only 28 years old.
Oh, he young.
He's a definite take.
Yeah.
I would give him. I would pay. Dude's not really trying to take pay cuts. Marshawn, you trying to take a pay cut at your job?
I'll be damn. I'll be
So
damn.
dude's not so you're not gonna be a free agent and get him for 12 million.
No.
Okay. So in order to even be in his market, you would have to either be at 14 or be more than 14. And for that reason, I think that I am out on Buda Baker because I'm not trying to pay anything near that price.
I tell you, a team will probably gonna go after him.
Who?
My Green Bay Packers. We need safety help. I think
You know,
depending on
y'all got Savage. He loved picking off Dak.
yeah, he love
Dak
picking up Dak.
like he went to Mississippi State or something.
He like going Ghost Casper for every other team. But you know Dak Prescott come in town or Dak Prescott anywhere Dak Prescott is, Darnell Savage want to be. But yeah, I'm not gonna say he mediocre, but
He mid.
yeah, yeah.
You want to say mid? It's all right to say mid. You
And
say it.
I look at it like this for older, not because Buddha not old by any means. He's only 28, and he just turned 28 this past
Mm-hmm.
January. So
Yeah.
I think the Packers should go after him. I'll pay 14. I'll pay 14. I'll pay 14. I like Buddha Baker. I like his game. I like his game. It's nice. So if you want to be a Packer, Buddha,
In this exercise, it's also important to consider because the cap goes up every year. It's also important to consider what 14 million, what percentage of the cap that is.
yeah,
So let me do that math. Divided by. So it's only 5% of the cap that you'd be giving to Buda Baker if you paid him 14 million.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
That, when you position it like that, I think that makes it a take for me too.
And I know he's gonna want to go to a contender too. He gonna want to go to a contender. This man been losing his whole career.
I tell you what, I think that I would replace Malik Hooker with Buda Baker.
Really?
Yeah. Because Malik Hooker was supposed to be a picks guy, and he doesn't get cooked much. He doesn't get cooked at all, really. So he's been a solid, good player for the Dallas Cowboys. But if I got an opportunity to get a guy that might get some more turnovers and give me the same good to average level of not getting cooked, I think I would take the chance and take Buda Baker for the Cowboys.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm gonna say that. I feel like he'll be a good. Yeah, Buda Baker. He the type of player. He's gonna go anywhere he goes. He's gonna make that team better, unless it's already a all-pro safety. But
yeah,
for the
but he don't need to go to the Steelers where Minka Fitzpatrick already there.
Exactly. But for the most part, or he'll need to go to the Bills, where they got Micah Hyde and them. So yeah, but anywhere else he go, especially contender, he gonna make that back. He gonna make that secondary better. So yeah, we like Buda. We like Buda over here. We like defense actually.
We love defense. Defense wins championships over here.
Yeah.
You look at them two teams that's in the Super Bowl. More than anything that they have in common, they play good defense.
Yeah.
They play more than good defense. They play top 4 or 5 defense.
That's definitely correct.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
Yeah. But other than that, that's the end of this segment here called Player Value. We're going to come with this segment every week. We're going to go over some players. That'll be great. That'll be of great value for agencies coming up and what teams should go after them. And if they wash, and
we had 4 players on the list that was washed. We ain't going to say no names. There was only 3 or 4 players on the list to begin with. So we're going to let y'all figure out who washed and who not. We don't throw shots here.
The end of this segment, end of this podcast. So it's a brief one today, but we hope y'all enjoyed. Tune in for more content. You can always go ahead and send business inquiries if you want to work with us or brand deals or whatever to our email, original BTH. That's Bravo Tango Hotel podcast at gmail.com. You can also go ahead and find us on IG. Our IG is. I do not have that here. What is our IG? It is
Bring the House Podcast.
Bring the House Podcast. You right. And then also on X as well, or Twitter, BTH Podcast 1, I believe. So you'll see that all in the credits. But again, this is Marshawn Fairley, your host, as well as the star, Darren T, DT. We're out. Any last comments before we leave, DT?
Shouts out to Odell, man. Great guy, great receiver. Greatest catch all time. Shouts out to him.
All right, guys. See you next time.
Yes, sir.
Bring the house.